Okay, hello and good morning. Let's take a look here. We're getting close to the weekend and we do have a test coming up. We'll talk about that in a minute. Let's take a look here. It says the measure of a right angle is 90 degrees. A says right as a conditional. So you're going to say if an angle is a right angle, then it measures 90 degrees. Okay, that's number one, or A. All right, B, write the converse. Converse is switch. So you're going to say if an angle is 90 degrees, then it is a right angle. C. The inverse, go back to the conditional. Always go back here. So you're going to say if not a right angle, then not 90 degrees. The contrapositive is both of those. Put a star by this. So you want to switch and opposite. So the switch is going to be, this is first, and you're going to say the opposite. So if not 90 degrees, then not a right angle. Okay, and then finally the last one, the biconditional. This has to be true. In order for that to be true, both of these have to be true. And they are. If it's 90 degrees, it's a right angle. If it's a right angle, it's 90 degrees. So that means the contrapositive is true. So you're going to say an angle is a right angle if and only if it is 90 degrees. That's a very good example there, and that gives you all of the ones that you need to know. Okay? This one right here says, if two complementary angles, then they add up to 90 degrees. Well, I need you to understand something here, and I want you to draw these two diagrams. Okay, so complementary is 90 degrees. That's true. So that would be like this angle here, angle 1 plus angle 2 would add up to 90 degrees. That's complementary. Supplementary, and you need to know both of these for the EOC. Supplementary would look like this. This would be angle 1. This would be angle 2. And supplementary adds up to this line. And every line is 180 degrees. So there's two things you need to know. Complementary, supplementary. And these are new definitions and new terms. Okay, so complementary is 90. And supplementary is Superman 180. Remember that. Superman 180. It's the bigger one. Okay? All right, let's keep moving. It says underline the hypothesis. The hypothesis is after the word if. So circle the word if, circle the word then. Do not use those. Okay? So the hypothesis is right here. Put an H here. It's after the word if. In the conclusion, it gets two lines right here. Make sure you understand the hypothesis and the conclusion. Today, we're doing this worksheet, but before we do, you have a test from Friday to Monday on Canvas. If you need a hard copy, see me and I'll make it, okay? Those of you who turned in, and I only had a few people who turned in the hard copies of the homework, make sure you see me for your hard copy test, okay? Remember, I don't want you to go on hard copy homework and then online for the test, okay? I don't want to play that game here. All right, so let's keep moving. Here is your worksheet for today for geometry. Okay, so if you can't be with me, take a look at it here and I'll slide it out. It's also going to be on Canvas as well. Okay, that's the front side and the back side. So read the directions and answer what it says. If you're not sure, ask. Let's turn our attention now to MCR. Okay, so for MCR, let me make this a little bigger here. touch brighter. Okay, so it says, what is the associative property? Give an example. Well, you can do it over multiplication. A times B times C equals A times B times C. You can put parentheses here and then parentheses there. Notice the order is the same. Distributive property would be like 2 times x plus 4 equals 2x and plus 8. Okay? The identity property for addition would be like 5 plus 0 equals 5. For multiplication, it'd be 5 times 1 equals 5. Remember, it starts with this, ends with this. That's why it's called an identity. The inverse property is the opposite. So it would be like positive 2, negative 2. Okay, it's the opposite. That's the inverse property. If you're multiplying 2 times x, the opposite is dividing by 2. Okay, the inverse is the opposite. All right, let's keep moving. Copy this down right here, commutative property. All right, so I showed you one like this. ABC equals ABC. All right, and notice the order is the same. But if they switch it on you and say ABC, and then they say ACB, and the parentheses still look the same, but the order changes, that is commutative. So in other words, if I go 2 plus x, the commutative property would be x plus 2. Okay? The commutative property does not work with subtraction. 5 minus x is not the same thing as x minus 5. All right, so that is the commutative property. How do I memorize it? CS, commutative switch. Write that down. Make sure you know that. So the associative is AG, grouping, and the commutative is CS. All right, today you're going to have your practice test. If you get stuck on any of these, make sure you ask. Okay, tomorrow I should have a printed practice test. Friday I'll work any questions, and you have the weekend to take the test. Unless you get a hard copy, you'll be taking it on Friday. All right, that's pretty much it. Have a good morning, and I'll see you in class.